Ben Woodruff here, and I am hiking through a subalpine forest in the American Southwest. I'm in some high mountains of Nevada. I'm actually 9,500 feet in elevation, which is several thousand feet higher than Machu Picchu, the kind of Inca capital that is world famous for its high elevation. But being this high up here, how does this forest get here? This is in the middle of a desert. And where I'm at, there's not a lot of organics. Down by this river, there's a tiny bit of grass that grows right along the stretch. But other than that, it's pretty much rock and trees. So where do these trees come from? Well, when you're hiking through a forest like this, you might catch the sound of a very special bird. It's the call of a Clark's Nutcracker. What is a Clark's Nutcracker? It's a strange sounding bird. Let's talk about this species. Clark's Nutcrackers are a very unique species of corvid. Corvids are the crow family, the raven family. It's a very well represented family in this area. And I'm going to tell you about all the species of corvids at this elevation in a minute. But what makes these Clark Nutcrackers so special is that they are responsible almost exclusively for planting these high elevation forests. Now, if you look at the trees around me, these look fairly familiar to the normal forest you may have been in. But this is thousands of feet in elevation above where these trees should naturally be growing. What happens is, and how they get planted, is by these Clark's Nutcrackers. Now, Clark's Nutcrackers, being a member of the crow, the raven family, they have a powerful beak and they have powerful claws. They don't grip in a way that hunts, but they can dig. These Clark's Nutcrackers will key in on certain seed-bearing conifers, things like ponderosa pines and pinyon pines, where we get pine nuts, and subalpine firs and limber pines. And they will take the seeds of these plants and they will go and they will bury them. They will have special caches and they will dig down and they'll bury them in mass, and they do it all over the place. They're very wise, they're very smart, and they remember where all these caches are. However, they're not going to eat all of them. No different than a squirrel, they always over-prepare for the winter, and they'll bury far more than they need. So what happens is, over the winter, as the snow permeates down to that level of soil, they start to germinate. And in the spring, some of these nuts that have been placed all over the place will grow forth and become a new tree from scratch. So in this way, we have this elevation, this zone, where from here to here, that you would normally, the tree line would stop here, but it goes higher because these Clark's Nutcrackers continually go ahead and leave these nuts from these different conifers all over the place. And so they very much are responsible for it. Over time, as time goes on, new trees go up and plant new seeds, and as those trees die, you have the cones that fall down and the dead trees that die. This crumbles. It's very, very weak, and it builds up soil. Otherwise, this elevation where I'm at right now is nothing but rock. It's just rocks like marble and travertine and different really dense dolomite rocks that are not conducive to growing plants. But because some of these got planted long ago by Clark's Nutcrackers, you have a forest where there otherwise would not be one. That's why it's important to make sure that we protect this species, because without it, over time, eventually, this forest would disappear. Now, being a corvid, I want to talk about the other corvids up here. At this elevation, there's a wide range of different corvids. Normally, we call this kind of the crow or the raven family, the corvid family. And normally that's what people picture as a crow. Well, let's start small and go big. The smallest corvid in this area is the diminutive gray jay. It's a very small species, and it's at the very highest elevations in this particular forest. These little jays are very gentle, and they're very tolerant of humans. And you can hold out food, and they will come right down to your hand and eat right from your hand. They've learned that humans are safe and fun to be around. The next one, at the bottom end of this elevation where we're at, is the scrub jay. And scrub jays, they live around here, and they hunt a wide range of insects and seeds. And the next one up from there is the pinion jay. Pinion jays are unusual. Their body shape, their wing shape, and their tail are unlike any other corvid that we have. But pinion jays are also odd in that they will flock. They could have anywhere from 70 to 200 of these all going together. And when you hear them, they're loud, and you can hear them when they fly by. It sounds like the rushing of an airplane, but the sound they make, you can hear it miles away, and you can hear this big flock, and you know the pinion jays are coming. And pinion jays love to eat pinion pine nuts, and they don't plant them and cache them the same way that the Clark's nutcrackers do. They just eat them and consume them. So they're a consumer, not a producer in that manner. Now, the next one that we have is the Steller's jay. The Steller's jay has a body shape and size very similar to the eastern blue jay, but it's very dark and has a big, beautiful crest. These are very loud, very vocal, and they live all around this area. We also have magpies, and magpies don't reach much up at this elevation, but we do have them. Magpies have a big, long, beautiful tail, and they are very vocal, and they like to flock together and even hunt together. And of course, the king of the corvids worldwide and in this area is the raven. We have ravens. Ravens pair for life, and we have ravens. I've been calling to them, really doing a call and getting them to come over. So it's really neat to see that there's that many species of corvids in this one little area. And this whole area is entirely dependent on the Clark's nutcrackers planting those seeds. So all those other corvid species wouldn't have a home here. This would just be big old rock screes and just rock slides and glacier deposits and nothing else if it were not for the Clark's nutcrackers. So many species live up here, but all those species of corvids are all dependent on that one species of corvid, the Clark's nutcracker. So I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit about this fascinating species. If you haven't already, if you could hit subscribe to my channel, I very much appreciate it. And always remember that life is a gift. So never stop learning and never stop exploring. We'll see you next time.